I was about 15 at the time. I snuck out of my house at about 1 in the morning and called my buddies and told them to bring some booze and cigarettes. Our plan was to ride around my 400 acres and have a campsite in the woods. I hopped on my junky little Honda 4Trax that I had gotten running the week before. It had a lot of scratches and some parts were missing, but it's a Honda, so it can handle anything. We all met up at the cattle feeder near my house and rode down through the pasture to the woods. We stopped at a secluded area next to where I had my tree stand set up. I had made a little hole in the ground, and we lit a small fire in the pit. I already had some old lawn chairs set up out there, so we picked a seat and sat down. I grabbed a Budweiser out of the package and started drinking it. We were laughing and being loud out there, but no one could hear us. It was very dark. The moon was covered by thick storm clouds. We started hearing some very strange noises I haven't ever heard before, but we didn't think much about it. After we finished off our last 6-pack, we each grabbed a pack of cigarettes and lit one. I had the bright idea to go down a trail that I wasn't familiar with, all by myself. I rode for about 10 minutes before I saw glowing white eyes in the distance. It got me super worried. It was walking strangely, and the fur looked worn and mangy. I presumed it to be a coyote. It locked its head right on me, and I turned my ass around and got out of there. I looked back, and it was still chasing me, but up on its hind legs. It scared the shit out of me. I was just driving mindlessly at that point. I wasn't on a trail or anything, just in the middle of the woods. I passed by an abandoned car I had never seen before. I had forgotten to fill the gas tank on my four-wheeler, and it just shut off right there in the forest. I got off and started running away on foot. I eventually made it to a trail and saw the light from our slowly dying fire we had made. I ran towards it. I made it over to our scrap pile, where my dad's old '89 F-350 was parked. I opened up the back door and jumped inside. I lied down in the seat, but I could still see the creature roaming around in the forest next to the truck. I assumed it was looking for me. I had lost my friends and had no idea which trail they went down or where they were. I was just hoping they were all right. The creature got very close to the truck, and I saw every one of its teeth through the window. I had never seen anything like it before. I remembered my dad always kept a handgun in his truck for safety. I had always told him it's going to get him in trouble someday, but tonight it may help me. I looked in the center console to see if he had left a gun in there, and luckily he did. I looked, and it had 3 bullets in it. I better make the best out of these. The coyote-like creature was behind the truck at this point. I slowly and quietly opened the little sliding window on the back glass of the truck. I pointed the gun at the skinwalker's head and pulled the trigger. Of course, I missed a point-blank shot. It knew my location now. I figured I would just die right there in an abandoned F-350. It started to rain, then started to storm. The rain was so thick, I couldn't see anything out the window. The creature was still looking at me through the back window. I climbed into the driver's seat of the truck. I tried to start it. The truck started, but of course it died. I opened up the door and made a run for it. The rain was still super thick, so I couldn't see where I was going. I tripped over a John boat we had out there by the scrap pile. I dove in it and lied down in the boat. The white eyes were still scavenging for me. I aimed the gun at it once more and fired. This time, it hit it. It fell to the ground and sat there. I put the gun to its head and shot it again. It lied there, not moving. I started the walk back to my house, looking back every once in a while, making sure that it wasn't behind me. I looked over in the neighbor's field where their cattle were. It was looking straight at me. I was close to my house at this point, so I made a run for it. I got into my square body that was sitting next to my house and ran straight into the creature. It lied there and didn't move. I parked the truck back, which now had a broken front grille and a dented bumper. I ran inside my house and jumped into my bed. My parents were extremely heavy sleepers, so they didn't hear a thing. The next morning, after my parents went to work, I looked back where I shot the coyote-like creature. Nothing was there, not even any blood, just some empty shells. I texted my friends to see if they were all right. No answer. I was wondering if they had seen it as well, or if there was even another one in those woods. I thought that maybe I should drive down to their houses in case they maybe lost their phone in the woods. So I got in my truck and drove down to their houses. Cody was at his house, Lucas was at his, but David wasn't at his. Cody said his phone was just dead, and Lucas said he lost his in the forest. I asked them if they had seen a human-sized coyote. They said they hadn't seen anything. I also asked if they knew where David went, but they said he just disappeared. I still have no idea on what happened that night, and David is still missing. I will never ride at night again.